Pokémon TCG Pocket. The latest mobile game installment that the Pokémon Company has produced. Now, I know a while back when I did an impressions video on the reveal of TCG Pocket, I was extremely critical and skeptical. In fact, a lot of you disliked that video with about a 70% dislike ratio. And honestly, it was well deserved. Yeah, I admit I jumped the shark a bit. And I overreacted. But can you blame me? Pokemon has made a ton of egregious and over-monetized mobile games the past decade. However, I am not afraid to admit when I'm wrong, and I will say that TCG Pocket is probably one of the best mobile games that they've ever produced. Yeah, honestly, I'm not kidding. Yes, just because I'm super skeptical and pessimistic about a lot of the things that they do, I can go both ways too, you know? And honestly, I've been having a ton of fun with TCG Pocket, and I have been playing ever since the game came out. Now, the game isn't perfect by any means. There are some flaws that I will get to later on in this video, but overall, let me give you my retrospective for the first 3 months of Pokemon TCG Pocket. Now, the first thing I will say is that it captures the essence of card collecting perfectly. Anyone that has a nostalgia trip of like opening packs when they was a kid and seeing all the cool stuff they could get, I experienced the same exact thing here. Not only is the process of opening packs beautiful, but the cards themselves are absolutely spectacular. The artist behind these cards did not slack in the slightest, and I absolutely respect the creativity and craft here. Especially that Dragonite full art card with him flying over the sea with shooting stars. God, it's so good. I wish I had it for real. I'm not even joking with that. And one thing I will admit is that, unlike a lot of other gacha games, I would probably say that TCG Pocket is the most generous when it comes to the free-to-play genre. Having the ability to open up 2 free packs a day really does give a reason to keep coming back, and in my opinion is incredibly free-to-play friendly. And not only that, the hourglasses that you get, which reduce the cooldown of the packs, have been plentiful and pretty generous over the past several months, in my opinion. Now, I personally thought in the beginning, oh, you're going to use up all the hourglasses they give you right at once, and then the well's going to run dry, and you're going to be crap out of luck and not be able to open up packs any more than the 2 minimum ones. But with the dailies, you can open up 1 extra every 3 days, because you get 4 hourglasses every day. And there's been plenty of events, and also refreshes in the shops using the shop tickets from various missions that you could also get pack hourglasses with. So the free-to-play players really do have a lot of accessibility with just the packs alone. Now, of course, you could spend real money on the Pokégold and use the Pokégold to open packs as well. But here it feels more of an option than an obligation, which I praise that. Now, there is an exception to that rule. If you were trying to go for anything substantially rare, like some of the 2-star, the immersive, or the crown cards, I would probably say as a free-to-play player, don't expect to get your hopes up on getting very many of those, because those are incredibly rare. And the crown card in specific is a 1 in 2,000 chance on average. So, the chance is there, but I have yet to even see one myself. So, I would either I got unlucky or those cards are just that rare. However, in terms of the whole deck building scene, there is plenty of opportunities to get EXs and regular cards just to fill out a deck out for the actual trading card game itself. Now, granted, it is slower than paying for it. I mean, that's a given, isn't it? But at least you don't feel left out too much. While you're able to earn cards at a slower pace, I don't feel like you're completely locked out of it. It just may take a little bit of extra time to set up the perfect deck that you're looking for. And even so, there actually is a daily limit as to how many packs you could purchase with Pokégold every day. 720, I believe it is, as I mentioned before in one of the other videos. Now, I wouldn't say this restriction is 100% good, because while it does prevent somebody from spending $1,000 in a day, it does have that incentive, keep coming back every day to spend money, and it may trigger an addiction that way. That's just me with the whole daily rewards and engagement factor, which is a thing. I honestly feel like, hey, having a reason to keep coming back and spending money might be a little bit more enticing than just dumping a bunch all at once. I could have just a different opinion on that. But at least a limit is there for someone not to completely break the bank in a day, so that is at least a plus. Now, the other thing, which I actually did praise this even in my other pessimistic video, was the Wonder Pick feature. Now, with the Wonder Pick feature, you have a set number of stamina to use every 12 hours to go through a list of cards that other people have gotten in their packs. So if you see something that, oh hey, I don't have this yet, you can click on that and try to have an actual 1 in 5 chance to go for that one specific card. And I have actually gotten several really good cards from the Wonder Pick. I mean, granted, it's not guaranteed. Again, 20% chance, 1 in 5. But at least with the Wonder Pick here, it is, in my opinion, a little bit more common to get a good card like that than it is just drawing it out of the pack, which has a much lower rarity of like 1.2% on average. Granted, higher level cards require more Wonder Pick stamina, and it recharges slow over time, 1 stamina per 12 hours, and hourglasses are a little bit harder to come by than the pack ones. That my opinion, I would say that kind of balances the system out, because if there was too many times to Wonder Pick, then that system would be so broken that people would just gravitate towards that and probably not even open up the regular packs at all. So, in my opinion, I would say it's quite balanced, which is good. On a side note, and I know this might aggravate a lot of people when I say this, for those who don't actually know it, but it does not matter what card you pick around the wheel when you select them, or what card you Wonder Pick when you select one of the 5. The result, unfortunately, is predetermined as soon as you enter the pick. How do I know this? It's the tutorial. The tutorial with TCG Pocket gives you like a breakdown of like, oh, the tutorial of opening your first pack and you're making your first Wonder Pick. And depending on what of the 3 packs you pick, Charizard, Pikachu, or Mewtwo, that EX card that you get and the other cards are predetermined. And then the other card in the Wonder Pick, where it shows you, oh hey, there's a star card of one of the starters, you always get that. That is also predetermined. So by that logic, if it can predetermine those, no matter which one you select, the same is true for both the pack wheel and the Wonder Pick selection. The odds are still exactly the same, but unfortunately, the whole thing is purely cosmetic and just an illusion. It's a very nice visual representation, giving like the feel of selecting a card off the shelf, but the results themselves, it doesn't matter which one you pick out of that. The bent packs don't mean anything either. Yeah, I know there was a whole conspiracy theory around that, because honestly, you don't even have to pick a pack at all. You can hit the fast forward button on the bottom right and just tear it open. And I think if you open 10 packs at a time, there's no selection at all. It just gives you everything right there and then. So yeah, I mean, the visual flair is there, but it really doesn't matter what you pick off the shelf. It's all predetermined. Speaking of flair, that's one of the things I thought it was a really egregious thing, but no, flair is fine for what it is. Unfortunately, you need multiple copies of the same exact card to add little like sparkly details to it, whether it's like actual like shine or like a little battle animation where like little sparkles come out of it when you play the card. In my opinion, it's okay. Like I think that the system is a little bit too expensive, because with lower tier cards like 1 and 2 diamond, more often than not, those cards a lot of them are not going to really even be useful, so you won't even get flair for those. But for the ones like that are really rare, that already have like a ridiculously low chance of getting, you need at least 3 copies of those cards in order to trade in for flair. So even just getting the flair itself is a little bit let's just say difficult. I just think that it's a lot of effort for just little sparkles and stuff. The option is nice at the very least, and I know some people really love little cosmetics or whatever, and it does actually give duplicates more value. So at least there's that. But if you're trying to go for like a specific flair on, let's just say, an immersive card, for example, you know, the card that shows a little movie, good luck finding 3 copies of that. It's like a 0.888% chance of just getting one in a pack. So Alright, now besides the whole picking cards and busting packs, what else is there to do in the game? Quite a lot, actually. I will give TCG Pocket a lot of credit for all the events and all of the things you can do in the game. Especially the solo battles. The solo battles and trying to complete all of those challenges, especially when you finally get like a good deck to try to face the AI, is a ton of fun. And I've actually been trying to do all of the challenges in the solo battles ever since they keep releasing. Actually, at the time of recording, I think the Space Time Smackdown ones are also available, so I honestly might even start doing a few of those while this video is rendering. So yeah, those challenges are actually really fun. And the AI, honestly, is very hit or miss. Sometimes it can be an absolute, like, Waluigi-like cheater and just I swear it doesn't shuffle its decks. It just looks and just pick whatever cards, because a lot of the times it like starts off with 2 Pokeballs and an Oak on the first turn. A lot. And I'm like, why doesn't that ever happen to me? So yeah, it just seems the AI can be a little questionable in terms of the randomness. But then you have the other spectrum where it could easily play a card and knock me out, but because it doesn't want it doesn't want to use an EX because I already have 2 points. It doesn't it doesn't actually know, oh hey, I could probably win by doing this, and it's more focused on not letting me earn any more points, more so than trying to earn points itself. It does silly things and questionable things. At least it did before. I'm not entirely sure, again, with the new solo battle update, if the AI has changed at all. But overall, it's still a decent challenge. And there's plenty of rewards, whether it's more hourglasses, shine dust, shop tickets to buy some cosmetics, or even more hourglasses. There's a lot of stuff there. There's been plenty of special events, like Wonder Pick events, to get some special promo cards, and like a bunch of different like hourglass and like cosmetic rewards, like new playmats, etc., with the special tickets they have for those events. Or you have the special solo battle events where you battle against limited time AI battles, try to do those challenges, and you get little promo packs and try to get special promo cards that way. Those are just a couple of the events that they've had. I think they've also had like mass outbreaks of like a specific type of card, and they've also had PvP battle events as well. Now the PvP in this game, unfortunately, there's no like rank system or anything, so when you select like a random opponent like among the internet, it's an absolute random chance of what you're getting. You could get someone who's a newbie, or you could get someone who's like the Omega Wallet Warrior and has like the most meta cards you could possibly fight against. And the same thing goes for like the special emblem events as well, where the last emblem event where you have to win 5 in a row, I got insanely lucky. Not only with like the people I battled against because they didn't have super meta stuff, but also with the cards I have as well. And then like after that, I went against like some of the most BS meta decks possible, and I'm just like, well, I wish I had those cards. That'd be nice. So yeah, PvP is a little bit of a crapshoot in my opinion. It's not terrible, but I feel like there should be more of like a skill, I don't know, I want to say skill-based matchmaking, but it's trading cards, I guess. There's really no skill involved. It's just have good cards, win game, and with luck sort of thing. But in terms of like matching trainer level with trainer level, because you do earn level depending on how much stamina you use or how many battles you win, something like that, I kind of wish there would be more like if I'm like level 30, I want to face more people within like the upper 20s, low 30s range, like that type of thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that the player is good or has the right cards, but because they're such a high level, they've used more stamina, therefore they should have better cards at that point. You see where I'm getting at. But unfortunately, there's no rank system. It's just, hey, here you go, random opponent, good luck. It's still fun, but it's a little chaotic in my opinion. Now, in terms of it being pay to win, literal terms, yes, obviously those who spend money will get better cards easier. That's the literal definition of pay to win. In terms of it being like, oh, the whales get everything sort of thing and they get all the rewards, as of now, the only thing that you can really get in terms of like winning a lot of battles are just special emblems you could put on your profile. which are fine. They're cosmetic, so I can't really complain too much about that. And you get some shine dust for winning battles, whether in a row or just in general. And honestly, and this is one thing which I can praise them for, even if PvP isn't your thing, you get up to 24 pack hourglasses just for participating in the event. Which is phenomenal, honestly. You don't even have to win. You just try it out for the heck of it. Or you could just, like, join a battle and concede 10 times immediately and get the packs that way. Alright, call me crazy, and this is probably going to be a... a hot take on this one, but in my opinion, I think there should be a punishment for conceding. Or at least conceding as soon as the battle starts. Now hear me out. There's a reason why. Going first has always been controversial in TCG Pocket because the way the energy zone is structured, there's no energy cards. It's just you take an energy from the spot and put it on a Pokemon every turn. The person who goes first, however, does not have a chance to get an energy. It's only from turn 2 and onward. So a lot of people, because turn 1 usually has a disadvantage, they can't place an energy, but they can evolve quicker, like going on down the line. So I guess that makes up for it. But a lot of people assume that, oh, hey, if I go first, I'm at a disadvantage. So they'll keep conceding until they're able to go second. That's not as bad now, but it still does happen on occasion, and it's kind of annoying when you just want to just play the battle, and and some people's like, no, I don't want to go first. No, I don't want to play at all then. And I honestly think that conceding immediately like that, like, not in general, but just conceding immediately like that, there should be some sort of, like, punishment, like, hey, if you do that too many times, you're on timeout from PvP for a little while. I'm not saying all conceding is bad, because say, for example, like, oh, hey, I know on this next turn, they're gonna knock out my last Pokemon. Conceding then isn't bad, just because, it just saves time. You know they're gonna win on the next turn, so why prolong the battle even more? Just say GG, give them a thanks, concede, move on to the next battle. That is fine. I get that. It's just those who are a little pissy about not having the right setup on the first turn or something, and they concede immediately and try again. That sort of thing, like conceding on the first turn, in my opinion, should be punishable. So that way, you're not wasting anybody's time. Is there anything else that I missed? Pack points and missions, I suppose. I probably should have mentioned this a while ago while talking about packs, but this is a jump video. I don't really talk things in order, especially since I usually don't really go off of a script. Now, pack points are basically the pity system with the whole thing. So if you're unlucky and you want to go for a specific card and you just can't pull it no matter if you open up 30 packs, you earn 5 pack points every time you open a pack, basically 1 point per card, thinking about it. And as soon as you earn enough points to get that card of that specific tier, the more rare the card, the more expensive the point value is, then you can just get it that way. And in my opinion, I like this system. It is a bit of a bummer that pack points don't transfer between different sets, although it's understandable. It makes no sense to, like, have a bunch of pack points for this and just cheat your way and just get a crown card for the next set even though you didn't open a single pack. So, yeah, that seems a little weird. So I understand why they did it this way. So it's a pity system for the packs you're currently opening. Using them on another set just seems like cheating. And the mission, yeah, and I almost forgot to mention about the missions too, where the more cards you fill out in the actual, like, decks itself, you basically earn these little emblem tickets that you can get emblems to fit on your profile, basically showcasing, like, your progress on that current pack, which is really fun. Especially the themed collections where there's certain Pokemon that you have to get that fits, like, a certain themed mission. And those ones are just really fun, not only just to fulfill, but to see how the devs, like, group certain Pokemon together in, like, form of a collection. Like, you have, like, the Pidgey squad, or you have... One of the cool ones was, like, you have the Snorlax full art, and then you have, like, the other 3, like, Pokemon in the background, but they have their own card that represents their scenario of the Snorlax blocking the path. That is really cool. Like, stuff like that is just so creative, and I absolutely adore it. So it really shows how much time and, like, effort and care they've actually put into the game. Like, it's not only just with, like, the presentation itself, but, like the actual art of the cards itself, like forming together or, like, telling a story. Or in Mythical Island, it took me forever to realize that Mew is basically like Where's Wally or Where's Waldo, and sometimes you can find Mew in the background of some of the other cards. That's cool. That's awesome. I love stuff like that. I haven't even touched the new set yet, the Space Time Smackdown, but I'm honestly curious to see what kind of like collections and theming they do with that set as well. And if they keep it up like this will definitely keep me coming back, because I just love seeing what all the creative stuff that they can come up with. Now, overall, I've been very, very positive with this game. But there are a few things that I think could be improved upon. Number one, the UI is kind of a little confusing at first. There's a lot of different menus, especially in the shop. There's like 7 different tabs, and sometimes tabs are within tabs, and it's just... yeah, it's a little overwhelming. Especially, it took some people forever to figure out, like, where the pack points were, just because they're not in with, like, the other currencies in the item menu. You have to go, like, within, like, the pack that you want to use your pack points on, and it's a little button on the bottom right of the screen. Like, some of the UI isn't, like, super, like, intuitive or something, and it could be improved upon, in my opinion. Some things are just a little confusing or hard to find. So maybe over time they can fix things with that, especially the shop. The shop is a nightmare with the multiple tabs and stuff. I understand the reason why they did that is like, oh, they have every tab for like the specific currency, and then the other tab that's blank for like the past 3 months. What is even the point of that? Why is it there? What do you plan on doing with that? Why are there 2 other tabs in the shop that are blank for 3 months? Something like that probably shouldn't be there until you actually want to use it. It took me forever to like figure out how to make like a binder. Oh, I forgot to mention binders and stuff, huh? Damn it, Jum, I knew you were forgetting something. Yeah, okay. So basically you can put your cards in like a virtual like binder or something, like group stuff together, like an actual like collection. Or you could showcase off in like little displays, that's it. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. You could showcase off like a single card, like a display with like a fancy background or something. And other people can actually like that said showcase as well. And if they do that, whether it's your friends that do it or if it's some randos just seeing it in the social tab, you get tickets for that. And I like that. Right. Another thing that needs to be improved on is the subscription. Because while some things are an interesting value, other things are very questionable. Now, I don't suggest getting the subscription at all because it's $10 a month, unless you already plan on buying packs with real money anyway. Theoretically, you get 1 extra pack every day, so that's 30 packs for $10. If you were planning on buying the packs anyway, like you're getting like 3 times the amount that you would get just for spending $10 on gold outright. Granted, you have to wait every day to get the extra pack, but if you're patient enough, it's a really great deal. The bonus accessories are also kind of nice. I am not a huge cosmetic guy, so I didn't like go jumping for joy for like the Mewtwo coins and playmats or the Charizard ones. It's cool to still have it, and I can use it at any time since I've unlocked them with the premium subscription. It's really up to you whether you see that as like part of the $10. The other rewards, however, I'm looking at you, hourglasses, are so pitifully low, it's laughable. 11 pack hourglasses a month. That doesn't even open a single pack, guys. What are you doing? I understand, like, you don't want to, like, flood too many extra hourglasses because they're already getting more packs with the subscription as it is. But, like, how is it that with the daily rewards, you get 4 hourglasses every day as opposed to the 11 a month from the past? That doesn't make any sense. At least have a premium track of daily missions to get a little bit of extra something. Or just add like something else to the reward pool that will be worth it. You know, like more shine dust or a few shop tickets here and there. It's like, yeah, so far like the rewards outside of like the special tickets that you can get with the premium awards, or the premium accessories rather. Like outside of that, like the hourglasses, there's nothing else. It, like do not get the subscription for that specifically because it's not worth it at all. And what's really funny is like they have a whole advertisement with 3 benefits of the premium pass. The first one is, well, the extra pack every day. The second one is the accessories, and the third one is the free trial. Sorry, like, how is a free trial a benefit? Especially when you already use it. That's not a benefit. That should be a promotional thing on top of the perks, not a perk itself. Maybe that's just me seeing the business side of thing differently. Who knows? But overall, the extra pack a day at least is a good value if you're going for that. Everything else is questionable. It's up to your taste. But still don't do it for the hourglasses, please. And lastly, the thing I wanted to mention that's a huge negative, in fact, it is such a big negative, I made a whole separate video on it, is trading. How the hell did you screw up trading, guys? This baffles me on a whole new level just because, like, the whole concept of the TCG is, well, trading card game, and as of the time of recording this, the whole trading system is very expensive, very restrictive, and very complicated to even just do it all. I won't go into full detail now because I want to keep my other trading video relevant, but I will say just being able just to trade with your friends, just, oh, here, I'll give you one for another one or whatever. There's way too many rules and regulations to make this fun. There's an extra currency, there's a stamina timer, there's things with rarities that have certain restrictions on it. It's just an overly complicated mess for all the wrong reasons. And I'll be honest with you, that alone gets me worried for the future of this game. The trading update was so substantially bad, in my opinion, that it knocks the game a couple notches down off the scale. Like, it just seems to me like they're making it overly restrictive to, like, either prevent people from, like, making Smurf accounts to trade with themselves, or to keep the economy in their game flowing for the whales, like, still give people the reason to keep busting packs. But I don't feel like that's the way to do it. It's like, again, it's trading cards, and I know it's a free-to-play game, but, like, the stamina, in my opinion, is enough. Like, we don't need anything else to make the whole concept so unbearable that it's not even worth using at all. In fact, if it still said coming soon on that little tab like it did a couple days ago as a time of recording, probably wouldn't make much of a difference to most people. The only other gripe that I have with this, and this is a personal opinion, is I've seen some of the cards with Space Time Smackdown, or Time Space Smackdown, whatever. Actually, have I been saying it wrong this whole time? Whatever. But the new set that came out, and in my opinion, the power creep is already starting to show, and that really worries me. I actually had a concern about this in my, like, first impressions, like, video back when Sarah B made that and I watched it. But, like, my biggest worry was, like, okay, the cards are fine now, but, like, already some of the EX cards and some of the setups in the new set are already, like, slightly better than the ones in previous sets so far. It doesn't make them completely obsolete. Like, you can still rock a Mewtwo EX deck, no problem, in my opinion. But for how much longer, though? Because already some of these newer metas that are coming out, they're really starting to show, and it really is nasty. So I'm just making sure that, like, the decks that you bust your butt for, like, previous sets don't become completely obsolete later on, and next thing you know, you need to bust a bunch of packs again just to basically stay relevant in both the solo battles and the PvP, and that's no fun. Because there needs to be a good balance between, getting cards in packs and also, like, playing the actual trading card game. Because it's simplified, but it's also very fun. I enjoy it a lot. I haven't really touched, like, the TCG in real life. I've played it a couple times when I was a kid, but I didn't really get into it until this. And I honestly think this is a great, like, simplified way. Does it replace the TCG in real life? No, it's an entirely different beast, in my opinion. But for what it is, it's really fun, and it's easy to get into for basically anybody who wants to try it out. But the one thing that really gets me worried, though, is that if newer cards come out and they're more powerful, the EXs are stronger, they have more broken abilities, and, like, basically the meta keeps changing, like, every month. I mean, all gacha games do that, I get it. But, like, I don't want, like, certain decks to be just completely like, oh, this one that I spent, like, so much time and or money getting is now getting spanked by this other deck that counters it. So, shoot, I better go try to bust packs from this new set now to get that deck. And then you get it. DNA has been doing the whole power creep thing now with Masters EX. And it ain't pretty over there. It's not nearly as bad in TCG Pocket right now. I won't dare say that it is. But seeing how it's slightly going in that direction, and even slightly, I still have to be concerned about it because the game is fun for right now. And I would really hate it if they decide just to like add in like more powerful metas or stuff, or a new type of card that's more stronger than EX, for example. Like Mega EX or something. I don't know, I'm just throwing something. Or V-Star or something like that. I don't know if those types of cards would ever come to the game because they're a little bit more complicated than the simplistic system that they have here. But I'm just hoping that they don't do anything super crazy like that because it actually could make previous decks obsolete over time. And that would suck. It should be available for anyone with any type of playstyle they have, or to try to use a lot of their favorites. As of now, it's not really bad, but it has gotten me a little bit concerned. That slight power creep along with the absolutely abysmal trading update. So that's 2 strikes already. Like, so far the game has been amazing. I would have given it an 8 out of 10, but I'm sorry, that trading update was so bad, I'm dropping it to a 6.5 out of 10. That's how bad it was. It is, I can't give like a substantially high rating to a game like this because at the end of the day, and I know people are going to be up my butt when I say this, it's a gacha game, it's gambling. I can't give any game that the core feature is gambling anything higher than like a 7 or an 8. Granted, it's not as egregious as other gacha games, I will admit that. But the ability to spend money on random rewards, aka gambling, is still there. And I don't even understand how Peggy and the ESRB rate this 3 and up. Sorry, any game, doesn't matter if it's cards or not, should not be rated for kids, in my opinion. I'll be honest, it's fairly easy to buy gold. So, like, I wouldn't recommend, like, giving this to a kid anyway, unless you have parental controls on. I mean, you should, but I can already see, like, little Timmy over there, like, oh, I want to get the new shiny Palkia, and then, like, it didn't realize that they spent a bunch of gold or whatever doing that. I mean, yeah, you could always give a bunch of different reasons. It should be the parents doing their job, etc. But, like, it's still there and whatnot. I have to at least acknowledge that fact. And even for someone like me, I will admit, at first, it was very tempting for me to spend a bunch of money on this game. Just because of the dopamine, the addiction, and I have a gambling problem, so I probably, in my opinion, shouldn't be touching this game. But I've learned to adapt. I still do have the premium subscription, and I honestly think the 3 packs a day are like just enough to keep me hooked. But it's not like too egregious. But for some who have even less control, it could be a serious problem. The 720 gold cap every day is good for that, but at the same time, who's to say they're not going to keep coming back every day and spending a bunch of money? It can only push them back so much. Those who are truly addicted to gambling should probably stay away from this game because it really is easy to spend like a solid 100 plus a day if you're not careful. I know that's a bit of a hot take, and I know a lot of people are saying it's like, oh, it's one of the most generous gacha games ever, or trading cards has always been gambling. It's like, yes, I get that, but as someone who's reviewing the product, I have to speak about it from like a literal term sense, you know? Now, like, obviously this isn't going to affect everybody. In fact, it's probably going to only affect a minority of players or anyone who tries to attempt the game. But, hey, they're important too, you know? So I have to acknowledge it from all angles. But I will agree, despite the horrible trading update, Pokemon Company and DNA has done a phenomenal job with this game so far. There's the visuals are with the cards are absolutely phenomenal. Like the creativity behind some of like either the events or some of the missions are really fun. They're really nice. They're really creative. Like the generosity with both Wonder Pick and then opening up the packs every day it really is a lot. Despite the timers, it is very generous compared to a lot of other gacha games. So that I have to give credit where it's due there. Honestly, it really captures the essence of like the TCG, like actually playing the game as well. It is more a simplified version of it. Perhaps veterans of the actual TCG might find this to be a little bit too dumbed down and they may not enjoy it as much. But for those who haven't played it in ages, or heck, even haven't played it at all, I would say this is a great start or a great way to come back to it. Because I've had a lot of fun playing with it. And it honestly, And honestly, kind of wish I was able to like form a deck for real and try to get into the real game, which I think is really the point of it. I was more afraid of TCG Pocket replacing the real life one, but the more I play this, so far I don't actually see that, and I'm actually happy I was incorrect of that. Because now I see that this honestly feels like a gateway into the actual game. But honestly, for right now, it is honestly one of the best mobile games I've played in a while. Now, I'm just praying with all my might that this isn't just a honeymoon phase that we're going through and the game's going to plummet by the first year anniversary, like a lot of the other games, Cafe Remix, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Unite, etc. And I'm really hoping that this is like the exception to all of those and actually maintains the fairness, the fun, the creativity, and not be an over monetized mess. It's a little shaky right now with trading and the slight power creep, but this could just be a bump in the road. And maybe they'll fix things later on down the line, which is what I'm hoping for. But as of right now, phenomenal. I give it a 6.5, almost 7 out of 10. You know, you did phenomenal with this. Now, seeing how well this game has done so far, it almost gives me hope of future Pokemon mobile games going forward. Almost.